ડોક્ટર બાબા સાહેબ આંબેડકર ઓપન યુનિવર્સિટી.
Namaskar dear students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you all on this course on cross-platform application development using Flutter. In last session, we have take 5 demonstration for switching between screen using push and pop method. We have also used root and push name method to simplify the switching process. We have also learned how to send data from one screen to another, and we have also learned how to retrieve data from second screen to first screen. In today's session, we are take demonstration of dynamic routing, navigator and Go router. So let's start understanding demonstration in Visual Studio Code. So let us first understand dynamic routing. So first we run this inside emulator so that you can understand how its interface is and how it works. So currently app is launching in the emulator that you can see in. This is a simple interface with home screen and 3 elevated buttons. Whenever I click on these go to details, it will redirect or navigate me to detail screen where I want to display that parameter 42, and whenever user clicks on go to fad screen, I want to just show fad animation and display second screen. Whenever user clicks on these 3 go to unknown route or route which is not defined, it will redirect or navigate me to 404 page not found style page which is unknown route. So let us try to understand how to implement these using dynamic routing. Here is our main function which calls runApp function. Inside that we pass myApp widget as a argument. So below that you can see our root widget of the application which is myApp, which extends stateless widgets because we don't want to maintain any state. Inside that I define my constructor. Below that is a build method that must override to return our interface. So here inside that we write down material app and its title is dynamic routing demo, and here we define initial route as a slash which is our home screen that we have seen in the interface. Instead of root, here we have used on generate route which allows dynamic routing and custom transition. So instead of root, we have to use on generate route for dynamic routing. So here whenever some method is called, for example, let us first go to this home screen. Whenever this method is called navigator.push name, here you can see in first button we have called navigator.push name, in second button, and inside third we have also called push name. So in earlier case it calls whatever route defined in root. So here in this case it calls this on generate route. So this is automatically called whenever you use navigator.push name method inside your code. Inside this we can get the name of screen or route. So in case of slash, what does it mean? We want to display home screen. You can easily switch between different page or routes using case. Whenever I write down switch setting.name, I will get name of the argument that is passed inside push name. So in case of slash, we want to return material page route with builder as argument which returns our home screen. Whenever this slash detail is, what we want to do is we want to not only navigate to the second screen, but we also want to pass argument to that screen which is 42. Here we need to extract argument passed while navigating. Here we expect an integer value because in push name we have passed integer value. Here I declare one variable integer type with name item ID, and how can we get that value passed inside push name? Using setting.arguments as integer because argument generally returns object, so we must convert it into integer. So here inside item id I will get whatever argument of type integer passed inside push name method of navigator. Now what we want to do next? We have extracted argument. Now we want to display that page which is detail screen. So here we return material page root. Inside that we pass builder as argument which returns our detail screen. Now we have already learned how to pass arguments inside constructor or how to pass value to second screen using its constructor. We have called detail screen, but here we have also passed item id as a constructor argument so that it can be extract and display there. And whenever this slash fed is called, we want to just display one screen which is fed screen without transition but with fed effect. So this code from page builder to transition builder will create that animation effect. Now we have not learned any animation right now, so you have to just remember that this code is for displaying fading screen. Later on we will understand this code. For sake of simplicity, just remember that this code is for make that transition smooth using fad in effect, right? So in case of slash fad, we will open that page with fad animation effect, and whenever any case which is not either fad screen, either detail screen or home screen, we must open unknown root. So inside default I write down return material page root with builder as argument which returns unknown screen, that is page not found screen. So whenever some unknown root occurs, it execute default case, and inside default case we write down go to unknown screen. Now let us understand each screen one by one. So inside home screen we have three elevated buttons, right? So here we define class home screen which extends stateless widgets. Inside that we define constructor, this is constructor, and we have to override build method. Here I return scaffold, and in app bar I display home screen. So here you can see it displays home screen. We want to display three elevated buttons. So inside body I define center. Inside that, since I want to arrange centered vertically, we use main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot center. Now we have three children. So inside children, first we define first elevated button which is go to detail with id 42, that you can see here. Go to detail with id 42. Now whenever this button is pressed, we want to open that detail screen. So when I click on this, I want to open that detail screen. So here I write down navigator dot push name. Now first argument is always context, second is a page where we want to navigate, and third is any other argument that we want to pass. So in this case it is a integer value. Now what will happen when user press this button? It will call navigator.pushName method which in turn calls our onGenerateRoot method. So this is how it works. Whenever second button is pressed, go to fad screen, it will generate fad effect and open that screen. So here I write down go to fad screen as a text, and whenever that button is pressed, we want to open fad screen. So here we write down navigator.pushName. First argument is context and second argument is page or root that we want to open. Here we don't want to pass any argument, so it has only two arguments. Whenever that third button is pressed, we want to just open unknown root. So here I write down inside on press navigator.pushName, and first argument is context, second argument is random. Now remember, random is not defined in onGenerateRoot, so it will execute default case and redirect or navigate me to that unknown screen. Now let us understand other screen. We define class detail screen which extends stateless widgets to display detail screen, and inside that we define one integer value which is id, and inside constructor we must get that id, so we define required parameter id and inside build method we written scaffold with title detail screen that you can see here. So this is a detail screen, and inside body I just want to display whatever we have received inside our constructor. So inside body I define center to display text in center of screen, and text is a item ID and whatever value we have received inside ID. So here I define item ID colon and value of that ID, and its font size is 24 that you can see on the screen. Inside fed screen what we want to display is just this is a screen fed in. So it class fed screen extends stateless widgets. Inside that we define constructor and we override build method, and inside app bar we display fed screen that you can see here, and inside body in center of screen I want to display text this screen fed in, and its font size is a 24. So this is how fed screen works. And inside unknown screen I want to display that 404 dash page not found. So these class unknown screen extends stateless widgets. This is constructor, and we override build method, and app bar displays unknown root that you can see on the screen, and inside body we have just one text which is displayed in center of screen with text 404 dash page not found, and again its text size is 24 that we can provide using text type. So I hope you understand how dynamic routing works. For dynamic routing we use on generate route instead of route, which predefines our pages or list of pages that we want to navigate. But in case of on generate route we dynamically switch between route or navigates between routes dynamically. Now let us take second example which defines navigator object. So let us understand second example. First we run this example inside emulator. So I am clicking on run button to launch these app inside my emulator. So you can see my app is launching on the emulator, and this is my simple interface. First we display home screen with one elevated button that say go to details. Now whenever I click on this go to details button, it will navigate me to detail screen where we have displayed back button, and whenever that back button is pressed we again switch back to home screen. Now here we don't want to use root or on go router method, but we want to use navigate. So let us try to understand how to use navigator for this kind of application. This is a very simple example. This is my main method which calls run app, and we have passed my app widget as a root widget for our application. So below that we define class myapp which extends stateful widget, and this is my constructor. Now why stateful widget? So root widget of the app is a stateful because navigation state changes. Whenever I go to detail screen my state changes, and whenever I come back to home screen again my state changes. That's why we have define stateful widget. Now this is my constructor, and inside that we must override create state method which returns my app state of type my app. So below that we define application state that controls which screen is visible. So here I define class underscore my app state which extends state of type my app. Now inside that I created one boolean variable show detail. Initially it is false. Initially we want to display home screen. So whenever I want to display detail screen, I will set this show detail variable to true, and whenever I come back to home screen again it will be set to false. So here we override our build method, and inside build method I return material app, and inside home I define navigator object or navigator widget. So instead of routes using a navigator with list of page. So here you have to define page stack like history of stack in a browser. First we must define pages. First page is a material page and its child is home page, and on detail, that means when user clicks to go to detail, we want to update state by calling set state method, and these variable show detail is set to true because we want to open show detail page. Second, we conditionally add details page to the stack. Initially home page is displayed, but whenever user clicks on go to details, we must update state, and based on state we want to display page. So if show detail is set to true, we must define child as a detail page. So initially home page is displayed because that show detail is set to false. Now whenever I click on this button, what I want to do is I want to change the state. So I call set state method which set my boolean variable to true, and these if conditions displayed that page. Inside that page, suppose I am clicking on this, now this page is open. Now inside that, whenever this back button is pressed, what I want to do is I want to again change my state which sets my boolean variable to false and redirect me to home. So if this show detail is set to true, we want to display material page. Inside that I define detail page, and on back button we want to update state which turns the show detail to false. So again it rebuild entire widget tree and display my detail page. So this is how it works. What will happen if I click on this back button? To handle back navigation, for example, this Android back button, so whenever that back button is pressed, this on pop page method is called, and inside that I write down if not root.did pop, we must return false. So what does it mean? If the current root cannot pop, we must return false, and if it is pop, that means we have actually pressed this back button, we must again update our state. So we call set state method, and inside that we set show details to false. So every time state must be up to date. So this is how it works. Now let us understand this home screen. So inside home screen, in app bar I want to display home and display one elevated button with text go to detail. So this home page is a stateless widget. So we define class home page which extends stateless widgets. Now this is my callback. So whenever we want to navigate to detail page, this on detail is called, that we have just seen. This is my constructor, and inside build method we return scaffold with app bar text set to home that you can see on the screen, and inside body in center I want to display one elevated button with text go to details, and whenever this button is pressed I want to call on detail. So it calls function to show detail page. Similarly, we have defined class detail page which extends stateless widgets. Inside that we define void callback on back, and this is my constructor, this is my detail screen. So inside app bar I want to display details. So here you can see inside app bar I set text to detail, and inside body in center of screen I want to display one elevated button with text back, and whenever it is pressed I want to call on back function to navigate to home page. So I hope you understand how navigator object works. It defines a stack of pages, and based on state it decides which page to display. Here we have take very simple example which takes 2 page only, but you can have any number of page, and depending on your state you can define that logic to redirect to particular page. So navigator is a declarative approach which is best suitable when there are large number of pages are there in your app. Now let us understand final demonstration which use GoRouter. So this is my GoRouter page. So first we will run this inside emulator, and then we understand functionality. So let us run this inside emulator. So I click on run button which launch my app inside emulator. So you can see on the screen it has a home screen with one elevated button go to details with ID 42, and whenever I click on this it displays detail 42 in app bar, and there is a back button. Whenever I click on this it again return me back to home screen. So let us try to understand this code. So here inside main, we have to define router object of type goRouter. So we must define this router object of type goRouter, which defines different routes. Inside goRouter, I pass routes. So the first is goRoute with path slash. So whenever I use name slash, we must return home page, and whenever I use path slash detail slash colon id, I must return detail screen. So whenever this button is pressed, now let us understand this. Now when this button is pressed, we call context.push. Earlier we use either navigator.push or navigator.push name, but instead of that, here we have to use context.push, and we have to specify path where we want to navigate. So here this detail is a path, and 42 is a argument that we want to pass to second screen. So now let us understand these. Inside goRoute, I define second path, which is slash detail slash colon id. Inside builder, we have to extract that value 42. So here I write down state.path parameter with name id. So it returns 42 because I have passed 42 in context.go method, and then we want to display detail page, and inside its constructor we pass that id like earlier example. The very first state to use goRouter is to define goRouter with page, where you can return that page or navigate to that page, or you can extract argument from path and you can pass that value to another screen. Here I write down run app, and inside argument I pass that router object, which is goRouter object, to my app, so that it can use this object. Here I define class myApp, which extends stateless widgets, and we must have one object of type goRouter, which is router in this case, and we must take that as a parameter. So here I write down this dot router. So I will get that router object from run app, which calls myApp with router object. Inside build method, instead of material app, we must return material app dot router. Remember, generally we write down return material app, but whenever you want to use goRouter, you must return material app dot router, which takes argument of type goRouter. Now this is my home page, which extend stateless widget. So this is a constructor, and inside that we override build method, which returns scaffold. Inside app bar I want to display home, that you can see on the screen, and inside body, in center of screen, I want to display one elevated button, and whenever that button is pressed, I want to go to detail page and pass 42 as argument to that page. So here on press we write down context.push. So instead of navigator.push name, we use context.push to open any page and pass argument. So here I write down slash detail slash 42. So 42 is my argument and slash detail is my page, and its text is go to detail 42. Now let us understand this detail page. Here I want to extract that data, so I define id as a string. This is my constructor, and I must get this id in order to display that in detail page. Suppose I am clicking on this, I want to display that inside app bar detail 42. So that 42 is extracted from this id, which is passed in a constructor as a parameter. Inside build method we return scaffold, and in app bar I write down text details and then $id, which displays its value. So what is its value? 42. So inside app bar it displays 42. Suppose I write down 50 in that context.go. For example, let passing 50. Let us hot reload these. Now whenever I click on these, it displays details 50, that we can easily understand. Whenever I pass 50 as argument, it retrieves value 50. So this is how GoRouter works. So friends, in today's session, we have learned 3 demonstrations. First, demonstrate dynamic routing. Second, we use navigator object. And third, we use GoRouter object for navigation. So I hope you understand all these 3: dynamic routing using on GoRouter, navigator object and GoRouter object. I request you all to write these 3 demonstration yourself. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you and happy learning.